Welcome back to yet another edition. You know what this is by now. Electric Avenue doing their weekly updates. Thanks for joining me. Um, so this week, you kind of think of it as like, oh, it's May. It's sort of a downtime. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of graduations and things like that going on. We just had Mother's Day. Father's Day is coming up, which is probably a bigger holiday for vinyl buyers since I don't know what I would say demographically, but there's probably more men that buy records than women, just from what I, at least from what I see here. So let me just get to what came out this week. Again, I was going to say it's sort of an off week in a way, with Memorial Day weekend around on the horizon here, but there's still a lot of stuff coming out. And we have Record Store Day Drop 2 coming up June 18th, so in the middle of next month. And there's a lot of stuff still on the schedule. So, yeah, the music actually, I feel 2022 has been even stronger for what I see release-wise than 21. But I don't know. First thing I'm going to show is something I said, oh, I'll just do this on a order by basis because it's kind of expensive. But someone did order it, and it's very nice. It's Rolling Stones Live at the El Macambo, 1977. This is actually like the fabled show. 300 people. This is a nice cutout here. 300 people in the audience. So very small group of people. Great set list. Ron Wood, I believe, joined at this period. Ends with 3 songs of, 4. It's Only Rock and Roll, Rip This Joint, Brown Sugar, and Jumpin' Jack Flash. So that may be of interest to people. They've been putting out a ton of Rolling Stones shows, and that seems more like one that people might actually be really invested in. I think the reason that it's more money is it was more records, but it made quite a jump from, well, it's almost double really of what their other live sets had been. The other reason that you're not seeing this video until May 20th is because of this, which just came in. Harry Styles, Harry's House, his brand new 3rd solo album. And you see the track list there. All right. So the thing with this is this has been advertised all over the internet. People know it's coming out. And I got specific instructions that I should not post a picture of this. I should not post a video of this until May 20th. And I understand the reason to sort of protect information and whatnot, but when you see every other Target and retail chain out there promoting the living daylights out of something, it kind of begs the question, well, why are the indie stores getting sort of slapped on the wrist for that sort of thing? Yes, there's probably a history of places that sell things early, and they're trying to clamp down on that sort of thing. I can understand that, but to not even be able to sort of promote it visually is kind of, what world are we living in? And sort of also to make note of that, you've probably noticed that in the last couple years, especially whenever there's a new release date scheduled, sometimes, many times, it goes to the internet and streaming before it actually gets to be made into a record or even a CD. Sometimes CDs might be a couple weeks late, and those are fairly easier to make than records. So in a sense, the physical product is now being sort of used as fan pieces, really, more than I got to run to the store on that date and get it. And that's something that I don't know if it needs addressing or if it's just not really a very fair level playing field. If you go into it with the knowledge that you know that these are going to be fan items, I suppose that's one thing. But I don't know. It's a strange world that we live in, and also, the prices of records. Some have gotten really high. The Harry is like 40 and up, and in American dollars, and that gets to be kind of expensive for teenagers. Even though supposedly we're all making more money. That can be quite a long discussion. But anyway, Harry Styles. I'm mentioning it now. Okay, Neil Young. So there were 3 live records that came out earlier this month on CD, and all the vinyl was supposed to come at the same time, and they all got delayed, and they're being released on 2 different dates. So the only one we have so far is this Citizen Kane Jr. Blues, which is live from the Bottom Line 1974. So this is a slightly different track list than what we've had on things like the Carnegie Hall and the Young Shakespeare. There's actually On the Beach is on here, Ambulance Blues, Green Sleeves, Long May You Run. So interesting. You might want to check that out. Another new release, sort of a controversial figure now, Van Morrison, What's It Gonna Take? He's gotten so political. Maybe he's always sort of been that way, but it's sort of overtaken a lot of the music, I suppose. But you get sort of lyrics, song titles: Fighting Back is the New Normal, Fodder for the Masses. Sometimes it's just blah, blah, blah. And maybe these are things that many of us want to say, but I don't know. It's interesting that he's become so vocal at this point. Anyway, I'm not going to say any more about that. Talented man, though. Ozzy Osbourne, Black Rain reissue. Let's see. 150 gram 2LP features I Don't Want to Stop and Not Going Away. This album came out in 2007, so it wasn't really big on vinyl at the time. I'm not even sure it was released on vinyl back then. Probably somewhere. But yeah, so I don't know how easy that's going to be to get, and it's probably not going to last long. Sort of like No More Tears was very difficult to get when it first came out, and then they did make more. But these things, what usually happens is the stores get what they can get. Most of the pre-orders have been farmed out to people who ordered them online. And then everybody else who was like, oh, I'll get it when I get it, is waiting and waiting. So my guess is there will be more at some point if they do run out quickly. Another cool one, Police, in the reissue category, Around the World. So this is restored and expanded. This is the limited edition DVD LP version. There is a Blu-ray version, Blu-ray and CD that you can buy separately, but this includes 9 live tracks previously unavailable on vinyl, restored and remastered. First time on DVD. These are early era sort of things. Walking on the Moon, Roxanne, So Lonely, Can't Stand Losing You, Message in a Bottle. As long as I have it right here, you can kind of see the different cover for the CD of that, CD and Blu-ray. And, at least, yeah, that's the Blu-ray version. There's one other thing I wanted to show here. Okay. As you can tell, I'm very sort of prepared, but not for this. Okay, another reissue. Hey, The Clash, Combat Rock. This is also has the People's Hall. It's a triple LP, includes unreleased tracks. I think it's at least maybe the second best Clash, or I should say third. I don't know. This and Sandinista, I'm sort of on the fence about which one is better. This one is shorter, tighter, more like we got the hits. Obviously, this has Should I Stay or Should I Go? And obviously, the big hit, Rock the Casbah. And the other is a very lengthy album, but has a lot of great material on it, so it's kind of hard to say. But anyway, the People's Hall, that's like unreleased tracks. Outside Bonds, Radio Clash, Futura 2000, First Night Back in London, and then a variety of sort of other things on those other sides. So if you're a Clash fan, I would say you might want to pick that up. Peter Gabriel's Passion. This was a great soundtrack to Martin Scorsese's Last Temptation of Christ. Yeah, interesting movie. I believe, was it Willem Dafoe that was in that? Anyway, this is a 2 LP, 180 gram half-speed master at 33 RPM. So if you like sort of evocative, quiet world music, no vocals, no Peter vocals, other than maybe some kind of chants or yelps in the background, really. That I know of, that I remember. It's been a long time since I heard that album. I guess before I get on to these other things real quick, let me mention that the new Mavis Staples Levon Helm live CD is out too, and the vinyl is coming out in a couple of weeks. This was done in, 2011? 2011. Okay, a couple other reissues. Bill Evans, live at Montreux Jazz Festival. This features Eddie Gomez and Jack DeJohnette, and it was done in 1968, so a very good period for Bill. And says new specifically prepared or specially prepared liner notes by Brian Morton, who is from Penguin Guide. Limited gatefold edition, so and that's on Verve. I'm not sure which company. Sorry, don't remember which company specifically is reissuing it. Oh, Elemental. A couple of Atlantic reissues. So I'm glad that Atlantic is finally taking up the mantle and doing some reissuing of their own, because they have so many great albums, jazz albums, and these are remastered from the original mono tapes. Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, and you can see right here is sort of the information. But it's a 2 LP set, and it has a bunch of outtakes, most of them previously unissued. So that's sort of a track list there if you want to freeze frame that. And same thing with John Coltrane, My Favorite Things. This is another 2 LP reissue and features more sort of extra stuff. Actually, this has the mono and the stereo albums remastered, so you get both versions. I don't know if there's really anything specifically to see on the back there, except the track listing sort of duplicated because it's the same album twice, but in different mixes. Okay, this came out on CD a couple months ago. Now on vinyl, John Mellencamp, and it's an odd cover, strictly a one-eyed Jack. As far as I know, John hasn't lost an eye, but interesting portrait. And Springsteen appears on a couple of these tracks, and this album was pretty highly rated as far as kind of what we expect from Mellencamp these days. It's a pretty Americana sounding album. This band and their name, Psychedelic Porn Crumpets, I couldn't even get it right. Psychedelic Porn Crumpets, and their album's called Night Gnomes. And I love the first song is called Terminus the Creator. Play on Tyler the Creator, I'm sure. But yeah, sort of psychedelic rock. People love them. Okay, a couple other reissues. Johnny Cash. This is Johnny Cash. It's color vinyl, and it's his debut album. Been reissued. I Walk the Line and Folsom Prison Blues. Yeah. Grand Funk Railroad, On Time. And this is their electrifying debut album, 1,200 copies. Still a lot of Grand Funk fans out there. And it feels like they're one of those bands that really doesn't get the respect they probably deserve. The band Everything Everything, this is their new album called Raw Data Feel. And this is the pink vinyl edition. They're actually a great band, and I wish more people knew about them or got interested in them because they deserve it. High Pulp, the band. This is their Anti Records debut, and it's a limited edition color vinyl. Great cover art, if you can see that. Sort of psychedelic too. Let's see. Heading through these. Death Cab for Cutie. This is a very limited live 2012 performance. Starts with Magic Overture, Passenger Seat, different names for the same thing, a movie script ending. Ends with I Will Follow You Into the Dark, Tiny Vessels, and Transatlanticism. It's not cheap, I will say that, because it's limited edition black splatter white vinyl, and it's with the Magic Orchestra live. We don't have too many of those, so if you want it, get it quick. So this person released like 4 albums today, I think. And I'm just going to briefly show the one because their cover art is sort of pushes the envelope. But Arca, and this is the album. I think this is this is Kick 2. So they released Kick 2 through Kick 5 today. There's some issue. I have not seen Kick 4 arrive yet. But if you're into sort of electronica, and if you liked like the last couple Bjork albums, Arca worked on those. Venezuelan trans artist. Fear Factory. So new record, Aggression Continuum, and this one is limited to 1,000 copies, light blue, red and light blue swirl with black splatter vinyl. So yeah, Fear Factory still making records. Avi Kaplan, sort of an Americana artist, produced by Shooter Jennings. This is 1,000 copies of Black Ice vinyl. So they're doing pretty limited runs on some of these things. Let's see. Jasmine Sullivan, Hotels. So Jasmine, I believe she's a Philly artist, and she just won Grammy for, was it R&B Album of the Year, I think, for this. It features her, Anderson .Paak, and Ari Lennox. She's been a great R&B singer for a while, and this sort of is like, she's finally kind of like hitting her stride with like being really well known. I think people kind of knew her, but she's becoming a bigger name. So reissue, the Claypool Lennon Delirium. This is Les Claypool and Sean Lennon's side project, and this is one of the couple albums that they did. Phobos and Demos, gray colored vinyl. The Monolith of Phobos is the name of the album. And yeah. So, and those are super limited. Suicidal Tendencies with another reissue. This one is Controlled by Hatred, Feel Like Shit, Deja Vu. Sorry, I try to keep these videos PG. Master of No Mercy, Waking the Dead, and How Will I Laugh Tomorrow. This is on indie exclusive Fruit Punch vinyl. So, Frontline Assembly, and this is their new reissue of Disorder EP, limited splatter vinyl. It features the 6 songs from the EP and then 3 bonus tracks. This is a Cleopatra reissue, 1988 release. Um, Finally, I just want to mention this album one more time. I know I've probably mentioned it a couple of times, but if you're into sort of like Radiohead, Grizzly Bear, that kind of stuff, whatever, you might want to pick up or check out Daniel Rawson of Grizzly Bear's new release. This is sort of technically his debut. He's had another album, but it's been a long time. You Belong There. It feels like a reboot, and it's a very interesting sort of naughty jazz folk kind of record, and has a lot of Spanish guitar influences and kind of the high sort of moody, yelpy Tom York kind of style of singing. If you're into Radiohead, definitely check it out because it's not really for everybody, but it's a very interesting art rock album. And I don't usually sort of do recommends in these videos, but I kind of think like that album sort of hit me as a like interesting piece of art, as how does one construct songs like this. And he plays virtually everything on that album himself other than the drums. So he plays not only the pianos and synths and guitars, but he's also playing upright bass. He's playing woodwinds and all sorts of instruments that he's kind of taught himself how to play. It's a pretty amazing sort of artistic statement. And also, I know it's streaming now in the category of streaming, but the new album from The Smile, which is basically Radiohead under a different name, without some of the players in the band. It really features the two sort of leaders in Tom York and Johnny Greenwood, and a drummer from another band whose name escapes me right now. But it's a fantastic record. It's streaming, and it will be out on physical media June 17th. So you can almost plan on picking that up with your record store day drop 2 purchases. So I think that pretty much covers it for today. Another sort of 20 plus minute sort of review. And apologies for not putting this up before midnight on a Thursday, but the Harry Styles police are out and they don't want it to happen. So yeah, I don't really have any more to offer right now. So thank you very much, and have a great week. And I'll see you next time with Memorial Day releases, and then oh gosh, the following week the big live Prince record from 1985 with The Revolution. That's exciting. So all right, take care. Thanks for watching. Peace.